important business back in Warden. Here we are. The word vault lies behind that door. I shall perch here and await your swift return.
You need something? I'm sort of in the middle of this theorem and... yep, lost it again. Damn. Well, you got my attention now. What do you want? Love poem? By the gears, why do you want one of those? I don't stray far from the mathematics spools nowadays, but I used to love the Ballad of Breezeborough, the Battle Axe. Might not be the sweetest verse, but it'll get your blood pumping. Spool 6.
Welcome to the Archivox, where all children of Sotha Seal may hear his divine word. What can I help you with? A love poem? Oh, where to begin? I have so many favorites. Perhaps the Song of the Axle. Or are you looking for something more conventional? Ode to Brass Lily might please you. It's over on spool 19.
By the word of Set, I am bound. Welcome to the Archivox, resident. How may I assist you? Just a moment. Category not found. Your request, love poem, does not appear in our organizational schema. I regret that I was not able to help you today. Please report this deficiency to the archivist in residence.
Dreaming. Discarded flowers. Empty cylinder.
Thank you for your patience. This unit has generated an original composition based on your inquiry. Love poem. Please claim your word form at spool 17. Poem. A collection of thematically appropriate statements and metaphors arranged in stanzaic sequence, including title and required punctuation. Yes, this unit has composed a poem. I hope it meets your specifications. May Set bless your labors.
My feathers quiver with inspiration. Tell me, have you found a poem worthy of Lady Blightwing? Well, which one should I use to woo my sharp-eyed love? Yes, perfect! Let's do that one! I can't wait to express my feelings in the sweaty, fat-legged, wingless tradition. Follow me to the Machine District, Squire. You can finally meet my lady love. And the Duke, too, I guess. Away! To the castle of my lady love!
My functions permit me to assist all customers.
I just...
Raynor, you let him walk all over you. There's a difference between cordial and
I
compliant.
have many functions to help
You
you
told
with your
me to play
purchases.
nice with others. Now you complain? I don't have to listen to this. I'll finish exploring on my own.
Sorry you had to hear that. Our family feuds aren't usually so dramatic. Raynor always requires a delicate touch, but he's never stormed off before. He hates being on his own. That whole shadow business. I didn't like the way Raynor let that high elf artificer with a dwarven control rod up his arse order us around. My brother didn't deserve to be treated so poorly. I just wish he believed it too. Before I wounded his pride, we were planning to explore this marvelous machine world. He charged off to prove he didn't need my help, and we know how that's going to turn out. I'll let him cool off, but could you make sure he stays out of trouble? What I said to Raynor was pretty harsh, but he can be so infuriating. Look, he might be a brilliant artificer. Unfortunately, he's a terrible dungeon delver. Without me, he's going to get lost or hurt. Just don't mention me when you see him. There are so many intriguing possibilities, I'm not sure which one he tried to tackle first.
Kirith doesn't appreciate my contributions to our partnership. That's a generous offer, but I find your sudden arrival somewhat convenient. Did my sister send you after me? I knew it! I suppose you think I'm just a useless know-it-all who rolls over and exposes his belly to every snarling aelit and pompous artificer that comes my way. Well, yes, but not because of Kirith or because I'm afraid to go out there on my own. The fact of the matter remains, exploration requires both a brain and some brawn. If you're willing to help, I won't refuse. There are a number of locations I want to examine. I added them to your map. Lead on, and I will follow. Don't worry. Same way as you, I imagine. We were looking for the ruins of Balm's Amshend beneath Mournhold when we came across a tiny city inside a clockwork globe. Needless to say, I knew what it was the moment I saw it. The shrinking made me queasy, though.
the 8, I swear I'll just...
Who would you be? Did the Clockwork Apostles send you? Oh, well, because the Halls of Regulation is breaking down. Naturally. I sent a request for aids ages ago. They would have fixed things by now, but the repair factotums keep attacking me. They see anyone who enters as an intruder. Truly? Why, that's most excellent. Now, the very fate of Clockwork City's clean water supply rests in our hands, so we must act quickly. Based on the schematics, I believe the vapor manifold and distillation initiator both need repairs. Easy enough for one of my talents. Just... Tread carefully. Repair factotums are crawling all over this place, and they're determined to defend these halls. For a moment there, I was worried that the factotums had whisked them all away. What a lucky find! This is just what the distillation initiator needs. I'm glad we could find one in such good condition. Just need to replace the crystal without causing irreversible damage. No problem. It worked? I mean, of course it worked. I knew what I was doing the entire time. Now, we don't have time for dawdling. Vapor manifold still needs to be fixed after all. We just... right. I suppose any structures... necessary repairs. I should be done in but a moment.
Detection array fully calibrated.
Quiet as blasted! I mean, no worries. I meant to do that. We have but one more task ahead. The geotic dynamo that fuels the galvanic engine needs to be replaced. However, it's located in the regulation chamber, which is protected by a guardian factotum. You'll have to fend it off if I'm to make repairs. What? What a silly question. It's malfunctioning, of course. Just like the repair factotums. The Apostles didn't even know there were issues when they sent me here for routine maintenance. Obviously, they weren't aware of the malfunctions. Oh, I'm certain you'll have to. But trust me when I say that factotum is doing more harm than good. If we let it be, then it will just destroy all the repairs I've set into place. I'm sure of it. Not that I think we'll be given a choice. I'm very certain. If we don't fix the galvanic engine, then there's a strong possibility that the entire system will shut down. This is the most crucial repair yet. Please, you've trusted me this far. Just one more fix and we'll be in the clear. looks like the galvanic engine that I'm going to fix now. Right now. Here I go. And this goes here, and then, of course, this goes over here, and if I just put this here, it's fixed? It's fixed! Yes! My plan worked. The Clockwork Apostles will have to accept me now. Can't believe we were actually able to do it. The halls of regulation are up and running again. Our repairs won't hold forever, but I should be able to maintain function in the meanwhile. I don't think it's too much to say that I'm truly a genius. Oh, there's absolutely no need to concern yourself about that. I assure you, all that matters is that the Brass Fortress will have water tonight because of us. Am I right? Here, you've been such a great help. You should be properly rewarded. Isn't there some other adventure you should be off to? Oh, Tilly, why did you have to open your stupid mouth? Look, I was honest about the halls of regulation needing repair, and every danger I outlined was of immediate concern. However, I may have embellished my connections with the Apostles. Well, I suppose that I had a connection at all. When I arrived in Clockwork, I was immediately drawn to the Apostles. I knew they could help me strengthen not only my magic, but also my technical skills, which are already quite impressive. Exactly so. It seems dark elf blood runs a little deeper here than they'd like to admit. I was an outsider, and compared to many here, my magic is still weak at best. I'm sure my round ears also didn't help make an impression, but I was determined. I found the schematics in a public depository and decided to research the mechanics in order to build upon my technical proficiency. Perhaps even make some improvements. I thought it might give me the edge I needed to join the Apostles. I really am sorry about that. I panicked when you showed up and thought you might inform the Apostles. I wanted at least a chance to make repairs. And it all worked out in the end. Clockwork City still has water, and I have my edge. Positive. I have a far better understanding of the mechanics now, and within a few weeks, I'll have a permanent repair. That's when I'll report my success to the Apostles. Thank you for helping me accomplish this. It truly means the world to me.
He's not looking, is he?
It's all right. Let it all out.
Hello again, friend. Don't mind the smell, just baking up a sort of clay souffle. I, really scraping the bottom of the ingredient barrel right now. Any luck with those mushrooms? That's great! Let's have a look, eh? Why, that slimy son of a script... He's been lying through his teeth! I could have been growing these mushrooms the whole time. Still, his pickling recipe is just what I needed to make use of them. Great work. I hate the way people look down on slag towners. Maybe it's not enough that I help feed these people something worth eating. We're always going to be struggling until the snooty folks on high see we have something to contribute. Produce something that doesn't just help us get by, but makes people up top take notice. I'd love to take something from my homeland and give it its own slag town flair. We had some root liqueur that would have been perfect, but we drank all we had. No, I can't imagine how hard something like that is to come by in Clockwork City. Maurice never did say how he came by a case of it, but I'm not one to pry. Couldn't hurt to do some asking around though, right? I really appreciate you volunteering for all this. Not many in Clockwork City who'd stop to spit on us down here, let alone do us a kindness.
Hey, Bren, maybe send your friend to the guild traders. They traffic in all sorts.
Not a bad idea.
Looking for a harvester with some guts.
Capable combatants needed for hazardous work. Please respond for more information.
Hey, you. Working with Brengelin. Come this way. I overheard you talking to Bren about the root liquor, and I had to intervene before you took off on some wild guar chase. Oh, I know you won't. That rare stock was a batch of counterfeit hooch I was trying to pass off on a wealthy mark, but she caught wise. When Bren got into it, I didn't have the heart to tell him it wasn't the real thing. I only made one batch. Suppose I could, but I based it off stuff that isn't easily come by. A part of the mix is Wellspring hooch, and I have on good authority that some students of the catalog of rote duplication keep a stash. Off limits, but that's not the hard part. The other main ingredient can't be found in Clockwork City. Stuff was stolen from the private reserve of some silk shirt in Port Hunding. Even if you could get out of this ticking prison, you'd have to smuggle a crate of the stuff back here. I'll believe you when I see it. If you do pull it off, meet me in Slagtown.
Apologies, but I am currently engaged in a task.
Did you notice the perfect symmetry? The total roundness of the form? And the way it reacted to simple, magical impulses? Incredible! If memory serves, the chimes sounded similar to the ones that ring in the Brass Fortress. Applying magic to the sphere provoked an oral response. Perhaps Sotha Seal utilizes different frequencies of sound to perform his divine workings. On the other hand, Lord Set might just appreciate good music. Tribunal doctrine strictly defines the consequences of questioning the methods and mechanisms of our living gods. The apostles here in the Clockwork City emulate Sotha Seal in their own ways, so any questions I ask seem tame by comparison. That's close enough. Don't want to disturb the, wildlife. Those machines must be pumps for moving the lubricant throughout the Clockwork City. Fascinating. I have what I need. We're done here. I wonder how the lubricant winds up in the Veil. Every time I answer one question, 3 more appear to take its place. I'm glad you asked. I surmise that a correlation exists between the lubricant and the dead organic matter inevitably created in the Clockwork City. It has to go somewhere. I speculate that those pumps distribute the grease throughout the complex. Ah, but the fabricants consist of both flesh and machine, and so do the Apostles. While the Dwemer were masters of mechanical construction, Lord Set took it a step further by adding living material to the mix. Kirith... No, never mind.
dare you interrupt my vigil? What nonsense impels you to such a rash and impetuous action? You dare question the sacred duty that has been placed before me? I'll have you know What am I doing here? What is this place? I remember coming to the Clockwork City when a teleportation ritual went awry. I was looking for a way out when I noticed a strange portal appear in the radius. It called to me. Next thing I know, I'm standing guard over this empty field. I remember that you interrupted my vigil. If my attention wavers for even a moment, those crows will take advantage and strip this field to the ground. Leave me! There are secrets in the dark and the night is here!
It feels like I've been protecting this field for hundreds of years. But I'm certain I just entered this realm a day or so ago. What an odd question. I spotted a portal that should not have been there, and I entered it to see where it led. I determined that this shadow cleft is part of the Everglow. How I wound up trapped in a scarecrow, well, that's still somewhat hazy. You've never heard of the Everglow? It's the Oblivion realm that belongs to Nocturnal, the Night Mistress. I'm sure this shadow cleft represents some sort of attack on the Clockwork City, but there's only so much I can determine in my current state. I see you have one of our perception tabulators. Continue your investigation and make sure that device gets into the hands of a Clockwork Apostle. Be careful. If you end up infused with a scarecrow, then everything you learn will be lost.
The Great Gear turns in my favor for a change. You have a perception tabulator. Did Adjunct Darrow send you to find me? Of course he did. Listen carefully, and there might still be time to realign this befouled contraption. That should be the least of your concerns. If you don't do exactly what I tell you, you'll end up like me. Then who will protect the Clockwork City from this Oblivion infestation? You need to destroy the Shadow Array. Some foul device that Night Sister Chimera uses to lure people into the Shadow Cleft and bind them to these scarecrows. If you can destroy it, we'll be set free. Without the Shadow Array, Nocturnal's plans will be set back or even foiled completely. Not so loud. Nocturnal has ears everywhere. She's one of the Daedric princes. They aren't supposed to be able to breach the Clockwork City's defenses, but nothing works properly anymore. Hurry! You must destroy the Shadow Array! tomorrow know what you've learned.
You returned! I must admit, I wasn't sure you'd be able to do that. Do you have the perception tabulator? And what of Acolyte Varia? Were you able to locate her in there? Dead? Shadow Array? I suppose the perception tabulator will explain everything. I'll study it right away. In the meantime, take this. A little something for helping the Clockwork Apostles today.
Take a breath and report. What's the situation in there?
Grim, Proctor. Daedric beasts and shadow cultists control much of the district. And the crows, oh, the sky's thick with them.
This way, Squire! Come! Come!
Varuni's auxiliary? What are you doing here?
Finest quality merchandise.
First that bastard Devaith, and now the crows? Your taste in companions grows worse by the hour. Sorry, we're having a very bad day. You mean to enter the Machine District? Why? Normally, I'd say we should simply kill them all and take the key by force. But it seems these birds have a real talent for hiding things. Daedra and cultists tossed the district for hours, and from what we can tell, they didn't find anything. Fine. You can play their ridiculous game. For now. But I'm coming with you. I've lost enough citizens already. A word of advice. Don't let these Daedric pests push you around. We need to learn the nature of this key before it's too late.
No! Your metal woman is not allowed in Castle Blackfeather. I forbid it.
I don't want to go anywhere near your filthy castle vermin. Let's get this over with. Keep your sword arm wound tight. Daedra could still be lurking around here.
Crow Mother, help me.
My fair maiden of ruin, my heart swells to see you, like a dead cat's belly warmed by the sun. A brass lily nods under gentle showers, its shiny petals polished under a rain of kisses.
Rain? No rain. It crinkles my feathers.
Oh, no, not real rain. A rain of entrails. Yes, tasty entrails.
Entrails? Oh, Sir Knight, you know the way to my heart goes through my gullet. Bring me entrails and I shall share with you. Maybe.
She said yes. I owe you a debt, crow friend. Duke, may I present the featherless poet?
Approach, poet. Let me get a measure of you. Hail, crow friend, to my great knight of Marrow. You come to parley? What boon do you seek from the Black Feather Court? The shiniest? The great prize? Outrageous. What could you possibly offer us that rivals the luster of the magnificent Lockpoker? Speak quickly, speak! My knights and I must prepare for our next battle with the Exarchs of Dross! You would take up the Blackfeather banner? Tempting. The Exarchs use wingless allies to shoot down my vassals and scatter my treasures. But if we had a giant of our own... Very well. I accept! Go! Destroy the Exarchs, and the key is yours! Yours! Prepare to die, you featherless scum!
Retreat!
Thick-legged thing! We'll blunt your eyes! Be the death of us!
Fly! Fly!
Take one step closer! We dare you!
So, we're going to fight birds. If only my Riemann dragoons could see me now, channeling the arcane to defeat poultry. You know, it's times like these that I really wish I had a sense of humor. But since I don't, I expect you to keep the details of this entire escapade to yourself. You're really reaching. Enough small talk. Let's kick the droppings off our boots and get on with it.
Why do you always dare them? Fly, fools! Ha! Well struck, Squire. The Exarchs are in full retreat. Look how they caw like chicks and empty their bowels. The time has come for a counterattack. Prepare for your greatest challenge, Crow friend. The Motionless Guardian. Yes, yes! The flightless cultists summoned it to guard their treasures. The Guardian stands like a mountain of brass and fury. We cannot approach it, but as a featherless giant, you might be immune to its gaze. Behold, Black Feathers! Our giant prepares to destroy the Guardian! Motionless Guardian! Strike tremble, Guardian! Our giant approaches! The giant felled the Guardian! Fly, Exarchs, fly! Victory! Victory for the court! Now let us take wing, Black Feathers! Back to the Duke!
Recalculating.
I'll wait for you here. I've chased enough birds for one day.
Victory! We picked the bones clean and plundered the Exarch's hoard. A proud day for the Blackfeather Court. Now, the Queen of Chaff sent an emissary requesting a parley. I have a plan to scare her off for good. I need your help. I know what I said, fledgling! They've not defeated the Exarchs yet. Even now, they clean their plumage and sharpen their beaks. Unless we break the will of their queen, they will always return. This will be your last task. I swear it! Swear! A trick! A bluff! A great crow scheme! Meet me in a building called Incarnatorium. I will explain all.
We're done, right? Where's the key? I think I've been more than accommodating, but I am done taking orders from a talking bird. You'd better be, with the key and without an obnoxious flying escort, all right?
The Queen of Chaff will arrive shortly. We must stun her with my magnificence. Are you ready? Look around. I picked this place for a reason. Pulley and pushy contraptions abound. When the city's wingless servants fiddle with him, the gears turn and pipes creak. I need to convince the Queen of Chaff that these machines serve me, and me alone. Yes, exactly. A performance. My legs, while svelte and regal, are not strong enough to push and pull these levers. I need you and your meaty hands. When the Exarch's queen witnesses my powers, she will take wing and never return. Of course not! No more time to plan. The queen's entourage approaches. Hide yourself! Hide! Hide!
Oh, Duke. You came alone? Foolish. This may be easier than I thought. Show me the key or my murder will tear you apart.
You are the fool,
Chaff Queen. I wield the power of the machines now.
You expect me to believe that? Give me the key or we'll peck you to ribbons.
Behold!
What? Steady, Exarchs. It's just a trick.
Waking machines awaken!
I will not be threatened. I am the Queen of Chaff.
Your doom is nigh. My machines will destroy you.
No! Impossible! Impossible!
Now, Queen of Chaff, you will die!
I yield. Such power. Come to me.
We did it for the list! Victory for you! Victory for the blood for the court! We may have a complication. My. This would be much easier if you had feathers. I have. Kind of. I hid the great prize nearby. But in your zeal to impress me, you threw the wrong switch. Now the door leading to the shiniest is blocked. Blocked! I can fly through, but you will need to take the long way round. North! I will dispatch my proud Knight of Marrow to accompany you. Good luck. Follow me, crow friend. The shiniest treasure awaits. skeleton key at last. Stay back, my liege. Have at thee! My knight, no! Get him, featherless! Our victory over the Exarchs came at great cost. Quill and claw, our lost knight was a true hero. We will not forgive, and we will not forget. I do not know which lock the Shadow plans to poke with the key he stole, but we will help you stop him. Yes! You are as much a member of this court as any crow. Our swift wings and keen eyes are at your disposal. Find the Shadow of Sotha Sea, claim the key he stole, and avenge my Knight of Marrow!
You look haggard. What happened in there? The skeleton key? Nocturnal's key? Damn it. I always suspected, but hoped it wasn't true. That key is a trans-dimensional artifact of unimaginable power. We have to get it back. The Omnivox alarm. Slag it! Someone's breaching the Cognitum Centralis. I have to get back to the Basilica. Meet me there!
You'll cease this line of inquiry immediately.
We have a right to know, Apostle. If this shadow set really is running around...
What part of sealed don't you understand?
You arrived just in time. I don't know how much more of Devaith and Varuni's bickering I could take. It's as I feared. The Shadow breached the Cogidum Centralis, Lord Set's seat of power. If it reaches the core, if it removes Lord Set from the throne aligned, we can't let that happen. You should steel yourself for the battles ahead. We arrived too late. As soon as the Shadow of Sotha Seal claimed the skeleton key, it slithered into the fundament and sealed all the doors leading to the Cogidum Centralis. Fear and Varuni tried to break the seal. You can see how that turned out. None. Lord Set designed the Cogidum to be virtually impenetrable. Even so, these whispering shadow cultists move through the city unhindered. I don't know how. Perhaps if we discover how they navigate the city, we can use that against them. I crossed staves with an Argonian mage once. He could leap through shadows, crossing long distances in seconds. Maybe that's the answer? Shadow portals of some kind? We need more information, inside perspective. We have that bastard Gascon jailed in the East Wing. He spent most of his time sulking, but he might speak to you. You did spare his life, after all. Ask him about this ship.
Ah, you again. I suppose I should thank you for sparing me for all the good it will do. That lumbering pile of scrap Luciana means to lock me in deep storage, I know it! Just leave me to my hand-wringing, all right? Information? I've been locked in this bleak little room since we parted ways. What could I possibly know? I heard the Omnivox squawking earlier. Is that what this is about? It is. Oh my. The cultists locked you out of the Cogidum, didn't they? I could help you, but I'd need something in return. One of Clavicus Vile's Scoffin enforcers stalks the mechanical fundament carrying a peculiar contract. Kill this Daedra, bring me the contract, and I'll tell you everything I know. True, I suppose. Despite what you might think, I love this city. I can't be a party to its destruction. Seek out gloaming gates, impossibly deep pools of shadow. The cultists use them to travel great distances. You can too. I know of two, one east, one west. Look for the hidden caves where the shadows gather in force. Once you find a gate, you need only let yourself sink into it. I can't promise you'll like where you end up. The gates weave in and out of Nocturnal's realm of Evergloam. You can use them to reach your ultimate destination, just as the cultists do. But you must first traverse the Evergloam to find other connected gates. Set bless your labors. I mean that. Hate me if you must, but I truly hope you can stop this madness.
By his word, I am bound.
Dreaming. Soiled tablecloth. Washboard.
Tell me you have something. Gates, of course. My apostles ran down a few rumors about cultists building strange basins on the periphery of the radius, but we never found any of them. How do these gates work? So we'll use the cultists' own pathways against them. Makes sense. Can't say I have any desire to fight my way through a plane of oblivion, but we don't have much of a choice, do we? Did Gascon say where they built these gates? And we have no way to know which will get us to our destination faster. Let's split up. I'll take the western gate, you take the east. Try to navigate the Evergloam. I'll do the same. Hopefully one of us will make it to the Coggadum in time.
What a magnificent monolith! I wonder if the workings extend into the subterranean levels below us. Maybe that's where the true functioning takes place. That's what I've been pondering since making my meticulous inspection of the site. It's a conundrum. Despite what that Slagtown trader told me, I don't see any method for determining what time it is. Kirith suggested, no, I can do this without her. Kirith uses intuition and leaps of logic instead of sound deductive reasoning, but it works for her. More often than not, actually. She thinks the tower is part of a vast underground mechanism that makes the city function. I suppose that makes sense. We need to go back so I can tell Kirith. Damn. I can't believe I let a stupid argument cut my sister out of this. She should have been here. Not that I don't appreciate your help, mind you, but Kirith and I... we're a team. It does, doesn't it? I'm not sure how to proceed. The complexities of social interaction are Kirith's speciality, not mine. She's my sister and we're a team. We work well together. But she did use some harsh, hurtful words. What do you think? You're right. We just proved that I can be a successful explorer on my own. I don't need Kirith. She needs me. Let's return to the Brass Fortress so I can give Kirith a piece of my mind. After you talk to her first, of course.
This year he'll... Welcome, friend. Come, join our celebration on this glorious and special day. Today is the day that Lector Naril declares a new apprentice. I've improved my botanical knowledge and skills considerably since the selection day last year. I hope he sees how much I can help him in his work. The Everwound Wellspring, a wondrous oasis in this mechanical desert. Sotha Seal created the place, but the Lector made plants grow in the metallic soil. Once every year, he distributes food and chooses an apprentice. You should come with me and see. In the past, the wellspring was accessible to everyone. Lector Narl sealed the place and started the tradition of the annual harvest and apprentice selection. Oh no, so many hopefuls. The gears just have to align in my favor. They have to.
Faithful of Sotha Seal, you may enter to collect this year's harvest in a moment, but first, I shall name my new apprentice. Sherazar, the Everwound Wellspring welcomes you as its new apprentice. Totems will continue to gather the harvest and bring the containers here. In the meantime, use the lift and come see our oasis. I always share a few words of advice with the hopefuls that weren't selected before I take the new apprentice under my wing. The Everwound Wellspring provides excellent opportunities for the novice apostles. You must be one of the new arrivals I've heard so much about. Everything in the Clockwork City, the soil, the flora, the fauna, it's all composed of gears and pistons and metal. It's like that everywhere. Everywhere, that is, except here. Because Sotha Seal set the wellspring in this metallic desert and blessed it with a reservoir of water. An exceedingly rare thing in the Clockwork City. He planned to create an oasis, but moved on to other projects before the task was done. We had water and a pressing need. It didn't take me long to figure out how to make actual living plants grow in this artificial soil. Now, save your questions and let me show you some of the wonders of the ever-wound wellspring. Come, everyone! Follow me into the viewing garden. My friends, the wellspring enjoyed a bountiful harvest. Let me show you how we accomplish our miracles. Simulated sunlight allows our trees to produce fruit sweeter than the orchards of Warden fell. These pipes carry an alchemical solution that nourishes our plants. Factotums harvest the plants and pack them in special containers to keep them fresh before we distribute them to Clockwork City. We take clippings from the most robust plants to produce stronger varieties. Someday, we'll be able to grow plants outside these walls. Every season, we share our bounty and select a new apprentice from among the novice apostles. By the way, where did my new apprentice wander off to? My new apprentice, Sherazar. Where did she disappear to? Oh, she's off to a bad start. A very bad start. And have two novices wandering around the oasis unsupervised? Very well. Go find Sherazar and return to me with all due haste. Quickly now, the work of the wellspring can't wait for an idle apprentice.
This was supposed to be a special day, but it turned out all wrong. There's something not right with this oasis. Sometimes a gear slips or a cylinder throws a piston. This place reminds me of that. Specifically, I saw my old friend Shirhari down one of the corridors. When I tried to go talk to her, the factotums blocked my path. They drove me off. That's the question, isn't it? And it's the reason I have a bad feeling all of a sudden. Why restrict where an apprentice can go? And why refuse to let me talk to Shirhari? It makes no sense. This was supposed to... Sometimes that's the question. No, I'd rather...
Sherazar. Oh, this one purrs at the sight of you.
It's so good to see you too, Shirhari.
You shouldn't wander the wellspring unsupervised. It's dangerous. The factotums don't respond well to visitors they haven't been formulated to recognize. And the fabricants, they're just mean. A new apprentice? Really? But what does Shirhari know of such things? This one works in the dark and grows fungi, molds, and mosses. The Lector keeps me too busy for other concerns. Shirhari doubts there's anything sinister going on. Sothasil blessed the wellspring with water, and Lector Naril's alchemical solutions make it possible to grow plants. It's good to see Sherizar, though. We could use the help. Apprentice? Sherizar is the first new apprentice to enter the Wellspring in years. The Lector stopped selecting apprentices after poor Gathal's accident. At least, that's how this one understands things. I suppose Idrono might know differently. Idrono works with Shihari. He attempts to grow non-fungal plant life in harsh conditions. Since you're going to speak to him, could you bring along some of my mushrooms? But not the poisonous ones. He hates those. Idrono will be grateful for the fungi samples, even if he seems agitated. He gets that way during the harvest. No. Only the Lector can do such things. But perhaps this one has the next best thing. My plaque of safe passage. As long as you carry it, the factotums should leave you alone. Take it. It won't stop fabricants, however, so be wary of those beasts. Shirhari will be fine. There is much to do right here, and the factotum...
Reflecting.
New apprentice, if you can hear my voice, step to the nearest speaking tube this
A new apprentice? How curious. And are those samples of Shirhari's mushrooms? Excellent. I've been anxious to taste the new harvest. Texture similar to guar hide. Flavor equivalent to wet moss. Not what I hoped for. Interesting question. As far as I know, no new apprentices have entered the Wellspring since Gathal's accident. But I have a bigger concern. At least Shirhari can grow mushrooms. My plants refuse to live no matter what I do. Of course, Lector Narl tasked each of us with a different experiment. I'm attempting to grow plants without the benefit of the simulated sunlight. I haven't had any success so far, but someone has to tackle the difficult experiments, I suppose. Lecter Gnarl developed it using techniques he still refuses to share. The simulated sunlight provides nourishing energy that makes most of the plants we grow thrive. Not my plants, mind you. Oh, no, that would ruin the experiment. Otowen's been with Lecter Gnarl the longest. She might know something more. You'll need to cross my garden to reach her. Just watch out for the blasted fabricants. They keep eating my plants and clogging up the gears. I just don't understand why my plants won't grow while Shihari and Otowen have no trouble making things bloom. It's an absolute annoyance. And so are those fabricants. Feel free to smash them to bits on your way through the garden. What's to tell? Gathal died. Happened in Lecter Gnarl's private workshop. We're not allowed in there anymore. Now let me think. I need to figure out how to make my plants do something. Anything other than wither and die.
Tube this instant. This is Lecter Gnarl talking to you through this speaking tube. I had such high hopes for you, Sherazar. Why do you defy me? I see. And does this have to do with the endeavors of the Wellspring? I suppose I can't fault you for your initiative and willingness to get right to work. I just wish you would have waited before you presented yourselves to my other apprentices. Prohibited? That's a harsh word. No, we don't have any restrictions in the Wellspring. But Sherazar will have a better understanding of how things work here once she returns to me and completes her orientation and training. Did he? My workshop isn't restricted, it's just private. You must see the necessity for a space of my own. No matter. Finish your task and we can discuss this in more detail. I have impressive plans for you and my new apprentice.
Interruptions are counterproductive. The 7th law of Gears teaches us that. Well, since you've already distracted me, you might as well tell me what you want. Idrono. His experiment was doomed from the beginning. You can't grow plants without a source of nourishing light. My plants thrive thanks to the use of Lecter Gnarl's simulated sunlight. But I wasn't informed we were getting new apprentices. That was the practice until Gathal died. Then the Lecter sealed his private workshop and gave us these experiments to conduct while he perfected his simulated sunlight. It makes our annual harvest possible. If there were other apprentices, I'd know. I suppose Lecter Gnarl could have more apprentices toiling in his private workshop. He keeps numerous secrets, so what's a few more? You can enter the workshop through the busted vent over there. Ignorance of his rules might grant you some leeway. Lecter Gnarl's private workshop is restricted, but I don't expect you to find anything. If he catches...
I'm very disappointed, Sherazar. Shirhari's plaque of safe passage has been rendered inoperable. Now, return to me immediately.
The early experiments failed, even though Lector Naro perfected his alchemical solution. I wonder how they solved the problem. That's the story of how the Everwound Wellspring was created. Lector Naro picked up where Sothosil left off. Machine! Is that the inductor? The apprentices! It sucked the life out of them! This is the Lector's simulated sunlight inductor. And just as we read in his notes, he's using the life force of the most recent apprentices to power the device. Sothosil would never approve of this. Never in a million clicks of the Great Gear. No. If we leave, Lector Narul will just use Shirhari or one of the others. We have to do something. We have to stop this madness. People shouldn't be turned into plant food. At least not while they're still healthy and vibrant. It's not natural.
So now you know the secret of the Wellspring. You see your role in our grand plan. Time is short. The life force of the previous apprentices is nearly depleted.
Life force can feed thousands!
There's nothing to be done for these poor apprentices. The Inductor has drained every drop of life from their bodies. But what of Lector Naril? He cloaks his evil in good intentions. The Lector lied. He tricked the apprentices and killed them. But the machine does allow the plants to grow and provides food for the Clockwork City. I wonder, what if someone willingly sacrificed themselves to feed the people? Yes, one life a season in exchange for a bountiful harvest. What could be more noble than sacrificing your life to feed the hungry? And I'll continue to work with the remaining apprentices. Maybe we can find another way, someday. Yes.
How horrible! Those apostles, all dead?
Not just dead, drained of life to create the simulated sunlight.
Still, it's an amazing device. Lector Naril's a true genius.
A genius? Look at this, Naril's insane!
Naril's dead, but the promise of the wellspring lives on.
You're not suggesting we continue to...
Gates closed. Yes, this is it. Everglow. Follow me. Watch your step, Featherless. These stones are near to moving. Left, Featherless! Always left! Gates closed! Closed! You'll have to find another way round. Spoilers ahead, crow friend. Careful. Which way? Which way? Ah, right! Go right! Follow the water, fat legs! Ah! East! East! We found it, Featherless! Now, in you go! Onto the cliffs!
Interlopers? No.
Tired! Tired! Just a few more stairs to go! Draw your weapons. One of Nocturnal's flock queens hides in that church. Sour taste. No shiny bits. Be careful.
Do your worst, night hag. You get nothing from me. Interlopers? No. I will not be interrupted. captured. A Shrike captain wouldn't defend just any gate. This must lead back to the city. Follow me. I recognize this place. These are the tunnels that lead to the Cogidom. Looks like the factotums put up a fight when the Shadow came through. Not enough, it seems. There, the Shadow's ward. Liquid shadows. Some kind of nocturnal light. I've never seen the like. Wait, I remember. Lord Sid taught me a spell long ago. It worked. How could he have known? Never mind. Meet me at the entrance to the Cogidom. We have work to do. I don't often admit surprise, but I'll be candid. That was one of the weirdest journeys of my life, and I've lived a very, very long time. With the Shadow Barrier removed, we can move freely between the Brass Fortress and the Cogidom again. Now we have a Daedric prince to thwart and a god to save. I hope you're ready. Tighten that armor and sharpen your weapons. Entering the Cogidom Centralis can prove deadly on the best of days. This is far from the best of days. Beyond whatever Daedric horrors the Shadow left in its wake, the Cogidom shifted into its strongbox configuration as soon as the alarm sounded. So now we have to contend with inaccessible platforms, hostile factotums, unleashed fabricants. You know I don't put much stock in hope. Sotha's seal prepares for every conceivable eventuality, but the Shadow is Sotha's seal. It's difficult to create countermeasures for yourself. We can't count on Sotha's seal. This task falls to us. Are you ready? The Shadow's got to be approaching the throne by now. We have to hurry! Just as I suspected. The defense system locked down the bridge. Slag it! I can use this terminal to unlock it, but the alarm cut the power. Looks like it has 2 charging junctions. I need you to find 2 core pumps. Can you do that? One other thing. There's a master factotum down here called...
Greetings. I am Ios. Please be advised. The sacred Cogidom Centralis is currently sealed. I kindly encourage you to exit the Cogidom immediately. Thank you for your compliance.
Not going to happen, Ios.
Assessing access motive.
More shadows. I see something. Some kind of light. The shadow banishing a lamp. Like the one you used to expose the shadow. Another switch. Try. When Sothasil saved me, he said I would shine a light one day. Could this be? Questions for another time. Let's keep moving.
Following me, are you? Brave and foolish.
More shadows. Let's hope Sothasil had the foresight to install those lamps here too.
tarnish my shadows again. Relish the victory while you can. It will take more than lamps to keep me from the throne aligned.
Greetings. This partition governs... Greetings. This partition governs all Axel operations and gate controls. How can I assist you? Evaluating access petition.
Dreaming. Raindrops on glass. Wood smoke.
Access granted. Please make swift progress to the throne room. Daedric corruption detected.
Another gate. Damn! We've got to find the release!
Conducting piston check. Awareness rating stabilized.
I will unlock this fool from the throne and claim what's mine.
Using the skeleton key to unseat the real Soda Seal. We cannot let him get inside that machine.
I see I'll have